Good, happy Monday, everyone. This is Shalonda, founder of the Softer Side of Real Estate, with my two lovely co-hosts, and I will let them introduce themselves. I welcome you guys to this platform. Today, we have a great topic, which is about liens, and I have the guest speaker that will be kind of giving us all of that information, enough for you guys to understand and be able to ask questions in the long run. So, no further ado, Maurice.
Hey, so I'm Maurice Murphy. I am known as the Bearded Realtor, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. Real estate professional. I make things happen when others think it can't be done. That's what I do. All right. That's pretty much it about me. Over to you,
Miss
Carlene.
Carleen.
Hi, my name is Carline Mazard St. Tillis. I am the owner and founder of Title Geeks. We are a full service title company located here in sunny South Florida. Our main office is in Fort Lauderdale, with offices in Orlando, and we are also in the state of Tennessee, right outside of Nashville. So we are a full service title company, and I've been in the title industry for 25 years, and we are problem solvers.
That's cool. So if we want to, what topic would you like to jump in as far as liens? Can you kind of explain to the audience exactly what a lien is?
Well, yeah, I'll start with the textbook definition of what a lien is. And a lien is the legal right or claim against a property by a creditor. Liens are commonly placed on properties such as a home or a car, so that creditors such as banks and lending institutions and credit unions can collect what is owed to them. Liens can also be removed, of course, giving the owner the full and clear title to the property. Now, if a lien is not paid, obviously, especially if it's attached to a real property, then the lender can move to foreclose. So that's the textbook definition of a lien.
Okay, cool. And is it a difference between a lien such as like on a car or a home? Is it a major difference? Can you elaborate on that a little bit, if it's a difference?
Well, I will mainly speak to liens on property, on real property. Now, as far as a lien on a car, obviously, I mean, there is not much of a difference because the two can kind of act in the same manner. For example, if you purchase a home and there is a mortgage on the property, just as much as you're getting a loan on the vehicle, those are considered liens on the property, for lack of a better term. And so until those liens are paid, the owner does not have full rights to a free and clear title to the property.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
It does. Now, like, say for instance, if I were to purchase a property and in purchasing that property, it's a lien that's showing, will that automatically clear that lien out? Or, is it some liens that can be cleared out or can't be cleared out with the purchase of a property?
All liens can be cleared out. And so if you are the potential buyer of a property and that property has existing liens on it, first we have to figure out what type of liens there are, because there are two different categories of liens. There are voluntary liens and then there are involuntary liens, right? And so under voluntary liens, we have mortgages that fall under that category. And a voluntary lien, a mortgage is something that someone applies for. You volunteered for that, for lack of a better term. And so that, as the owner of that property, that you volunteered for this particular loan and that it becomes a lien and it's a cloud on title. And until that lien is actually paid off, you really can't do much with the property in terms of having free and clear full title in terms of ownership on the property. It acts in the same manner as a vehicle as well. Again, I'm not going to elaborate too much on cars, but that's basically how it is. Now, the other category is involuntary liens. Now, involuntary liens are just exactly what they are, something that we didn't volunteer for. And those can be a mechanic's lien. And a mechanic lien is, let's say you want to do some remodeling around your house and you hire a contractor. and the contractor does the work, and the contractor is not paid based on the agreement for the work done. So what the contractor does, in a way to protect themselves and ensure that they're paid for the work done, they attach a mechanics lien to the property. And so until that lien is paid, then again, the owner can't really do much on the property. The next type of lien are tax liens. Tax liens, we have the IRS liens, and we also have the taxing authorities for the county property taxes as well. And typically, the taxing authorities have superior preference or over a loan or any other type of lien that's on the property. Let's elaborate a little bit more on property taxes. So someone in the state of Florida, you can go 3 years and be delinquent on your property taxes and be fined. But after about the 4th or 5th year, then the taxing authority will then move to a tax deed sale where the homeowner would lose the property. Same with the IRS liens. You know, if someone owes back taxes on their individual income taxes, the IRS will impose a lien on the property if that person owns any collateral or any type of property with any type of asset, I should say. I beg your pardon. Another type of lien are HOA liens. If someone has HOA dues and they go delinquent and they're not paying, that's involuntary. And if after so many months of not paying your HOA dues, the homeowners association can also move to foreclose as well.
Okay.
We also have utility liens. We also have child support liens. A lot of people don't know that child support liens can also attach to a property as well. So
how is that? How is that? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
In terms of the child support lien, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your child support, right? And so you owe I mean, not you, but the proverbial you. So child support is owed, and the individual that is ordered to pay the child support has an asset, i.e. a home. And if the child support is delinquent, naturally the courts will put in an order for a certificate of delinquency, and that can attach to the property as well. So if they go to either refinance or sell the property, when the title company runs a search, just like Title Geeks, we will run a name search on the homeowner. And when any type of lien or judgment that comes up, we have an obligation to clear that, because as a title agent, we cannot issue title insurance on a property that still has any type of liens or judgment against it.
Okay.
So in situations like that, what we would do is reach out to the courts and request what's called a payoff for that particular lien, whether it's a child support lien or whichever type of lien it is. And once they provide us with the payoff, we then collect it as part of the closing as a charge to the seller, of course, or whoever the lien is against. And at that point, we clear it at closing.
Interesting.
Utility liens are things that people don't know too, and you know, specifically for water and sewer services. If a water and sewer services go delinquent, depending on the municipality, it doesn't follow the individual. It sticks with the land. It sticks with the property, and it can graduate into a lien and just remain with the property, regardless of how many owners own the property. So, and those with utility liens are not accessible on public records. Someone would actually have to request what's called a lien search, or go to the actual municipality where the water and utility department and actually pay for information regarding that particular type of lien.
Okay.
That's one of the things that we do here at Title Geeks. We are able to run the title search. We're able to also request the utility lien information on any property. So if there's an investor that's wanting to maybe buy a property, whether it's by a short sale or whether it's by an REO, any type of investment property or what have you, they would then reach out to us, and we can do the title and lien search for them as well.
Okay, cool. Now I have a question for you. Can anyone put a lien on a property? Of course, if it's a legit business or a reason, but can anyone do it?
Yes, you can. So let's say, for example, you have a lawsuit against someone and you won the lawsuit. And so there was a judgment placed against that person. You then would then record that judgment in the public records to ensure that the monetary amount that you're supposed to receive as part of that judgment is placed on the property, so that way you guarantee the the lawsuit, the winnings from the lawsuit. So anyone can place it. Yes.
Okay.
And I just want to, I'm sorry, Maurice, let me just say this real quick. And I should have said it in the beginning. I am not an attorney. And so the information, I just got to put it out there. The information here is strictly for educational purposes. It is not to be construed as legal advice. I am not an attorney. I don't play one on TV, not even on YouTube. So, there you have it.
Note taken. Note taken. You was gonna say something, Maurice?
So I had a question about you said the 3-year tax lien. Now, even after the 3 years, the owner of the property can still come back and retrieve that property back, or at that point it's already gone and there's nothing they can do about getting the property back?
Well, yeah, I believe the owner of the property can redeem the taxes.
Okay.
Obviously, if there's a tax certificate sale, or if someone purchased the tax certificate to that property, yes, then at that point, the owner of the property would then have to reach out to the taxing authority and obtain the information in terms of what the amount is that they need to pay to redeem those taxes, and go from there. Yes, as long as the deed hasn't been sold, there isn't a tax sale date, then yes, they should be fine.
Okay.
Will that be considered like the redemption period? Is that the same thing?
That's the redemption period. Yes, ma'am.
And then the child support lien. So who puts on child support liens? Is that the person that's getting the child support money, or how does that work? Because I know people out there gonna be watching. They want to know these answers. So that's one of my questions. I'm like, how does that work?
Well, obviously, I mean, if someone has a child support case against them, then the courts are involved. So it all depends on how that particular case is progressing. I would imagine that if there is so many months or years that the person that's ordered to pay child support is delinquent, then at that point, the judge may, or the recipient of the child support may request that a lien be placed on an asset that the person that has the child support, if they have any assets, to place a lien on that property.
Okay. So pay your child support
right now.
That's the idea. Pay your child support,
Or stop at CVS and just pick you up a little box.
Yeah, we definitely want to do that. Yeah, I mean, it can be very, very serious when, unfortunately, especially with child support, not only, you run the risk of getting a lien placed on your property if you have it, then you have driver license issues. It's just a whole gamut of things that can happen. So, the idea is just to do the right thing, and avoid these other troubles. Yeah.
Okay.
And so
now,
one of the quick questions, real quick. So, and can mechanic liens and utility liens get to where your property is taken away from you? Can it get to that point? Or is that not really a thing with mechanics and utility liens?
It's not. Okay. At least in my experience, I haven't seen that happen.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shalon.
No, I was still laughing. Okay, so Carline, in regards to liens, right? So if I wanted to, I think you touched on it very briefly. Which ones can we search as a consumer?
Okay, as the consumer, so everything is public records, right? So you can definitely, depending on where the property is situated, you can actually log on to the county public records, the clerk of courts for that particular county, and run a lien search. There are certain parameters that you would have to enter into your search to kind of narrow it down. It does not give you everything per se, but it's a good start. right?
Okay.
The other more effective way of getting information in terms of a lien on a property is to reach out to a company like Leaks. For the cost of maybe about $150, we're able to provide a lien search, a comprehensive title search of what is on the property, all the liens that are on the property. However, that does not include any municipal liens. We only provide information that's related to the county liens, and it's different. And just going back to what I said a little earlier, utility liens are not part of county records. They are municipal records liens.
Can you kind of explain municipal liens and county liens so
Yes.
the viewers can understand that?
Okay, so municipalities are the cities. Okay, so for example, you Maurice, I'll take where you are currently right now. For example, you are in the city of Jacksonville. I'm assuming the county is Duval. Are you in Duval County? Okay, so if you're purchasing a property within the city of Jacksonville, to look for the information regarding the utility, you would then reach out to the city of Jacksonville for the water utility service. Now, any other information related to the county, we would run a search through the Duval County public records.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions?
I'm thinking. I'm trying to now. So the other liens, right? Is it a process as far as having them recorded, or how long does it take to have them recorded, or once it's paid off, when is that information updated through the courts?
Yes. So when a lien is recorded, most county records are almost instantaneous. When they get recorded, they're like literally in the system right away because, with advanced technologies, everything is like done right away. Now, when a lien is paid off, the creditor has an obligation to record a release of that lien, freeing up that particular lien. If it's not, then it goes to a whole situation where we have to try and chase down this creditor to get them to do it. I almost have it almost all the time where we have liens that were paid off years and years ago, and then the owner goes either to sell or refinance the property, and then this lien is still showing up in the title search, and then so we have to go and backtrack and try to find these creditors and explain to them, hey, this is what's going on and this is what we need, and then then at that point will prepare the satisfaction or the release of that lien. They would either record it or then they would send the unrecorded document to us as the title agent, and we hold on to it and take the responsibility to record it at closing.
Okay. Now I have a question for you. It's still regarding liens, but it's more so of not of a purchase, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll say if a homeowner was to pass away and they had a lien on their property, how can that be cleared if, well, I guess it would be the same thing if someone purchased their property, or will it transfer over to the new owners?
See, that's a good question. But however, again, I'm not an attorney, and attorneys are better suited to respond to those types of questions. But based on my experience, depending on the type of liens, they don't survive death.
Okay.
That's all I can say about that.
Well, that's a good it's a good answer. So I hope it's a good answer. I understood it.
Yeah, we can definitely if there's a different type of scenario, if any of your audience has any questions, they could definitely reach out to me via telephone or email. And we can definitely help them. And if we can't, we have an attorney on staff who will definitely be able to respond to any of those questions.
Okay. Now I do have another question regarding liens. Is there one lien that's more important than the other, or are they all equal? You're not an attorney. We get that.
Not all liens are created equally. I can tell you that one, but any lien that has to do with any type of statutory liens, any government related liens, they take superior position. they take superior position. I mean, the IRS liens, the property taxes, yes, they usually take superior position if they go delinquent.
Okay. That makes sense and is cleared.
Yeah, it's very important to definitely clear them. Yes.
Okay. So pretty much, just to sum it up, just pay your taxes, now so during a title transfer, right? You know how you can do a quick claim deed.
Right.
Can you still do a quick claim deed if it's a lien on the property or?
Well, yes, you can still do a quick claim deed with and transfer ownership to a property from one person to another person or another entity without even doing a title search. However, whoever is going to be the grantee on that deed is going to be responsible for any existing issues that's on the property.
Okay.
So they're taking on, so if there are any existing liens, they're taking that on.
So can you kind of explain to the audience what a quick claim deed is?
Yes. So a quick claim deed is it is a deed in every sense of the word, but it is a very it's one of the more easier types of deeds. It's a deed where let's say, for example, I'll take me for example. If I have a property and I want to deed it over to my son, without going through the traditional sale of a property where I would have to give him a warranty deed, I would just deed the property over to him. He would pay me, just a small amount. Let's say $10, for example. Pay me $10 for the deed of the property, and then I deed the property over to him, and of course that deed makes him the owner of the property. Now, if I have any issues on the property, if I have a mortgage, if I have any type of liens, any code violations, you name it, on that property, because the property is now deeded over to him, he has now inherited all of those issues. So if in the future he goes to refinance or sell the property, those issues would then have to be cleared before the property again changes ownership, whether it's through the sale of the property or if he's taking on a new loan.
So the quick claim deed does not null and void the previous liens when it's transferred to the new owner. That's
at all.
A myth. Okay.
Not at all. It's a big myth.
Yes, because that's what a lot of people hear, that when you quick claim a deed, everything, liens, anything, nuisances, whatever's on that property kind of goes away, and then
doesn't.
But you've heard that before, right?
I have.
Okay.
And yeah, we need to be myth busters, and no,
Yes.
that's not true.
So that's definitely not true, that quick claim deeds do not null and void the liens on the property or anything.
No, it doesn't null and void it. It doesn't negate a lien. Not in any sense of the word. No.
Okay, so those are basically just transferred over to the new owner.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Correct. And so anyone considering doing a quick claim deed from one person to another, it is advisable that you run it. It's worth the $150 investment to run a title search. It's worth, just a few extra bucks to even do a municipal lien search to understand what's on the property before you decide to take on this, type of property.
Now, are there any type of liens that have a time limit as far as when the debt needs to be paid, or it's just until the sale of that property?
Well, on judgments, so we have judgments and we have certified judgments. So if a judgment is certified, it's for 20 years. So and the creditor can go back, and if it's close to the 20 years, the creditor can go back and recertify it again for an additional 20 years. I mean, I've never seen anything, expire. A lot of them they stick on the property as long as they know that that person owns the property, because they need to guarantee to be paid back the monies that they're owed.
Got it. Well, that's definitely good to know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and a lot of these liens can definitely be negotiated. So if anyone has a lien on their property, just like you would negotiate something that you owe that's on your credit, you can do the same with these liens. Definitely, it's worth it. The worst that they can say to you is no, but it's worth the effort to definitely negotiate and try to see if you can pay down the balances, or get a short payoff on these liens to get it released.
Gotcha. And so you can do, even though you're in Fort Lauderdale, you can do title searches for the entire state of Florida, correct?
Yes, I am licensed in the entire state of Florida, so we cover border to border. We cover transactions from the Keys on up to the Panhandle.
Right.
Again, we're also licensed in the state of Tennessee, and we cover the entire state of Tennessee as well.
Got you. So if any of our viewers had any questions, they can reach out to you, and you can run all the searches they need to run for the state of Florida and Tennessee.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our telephone number that we can be reached at is area code 844. It's a toll-free number. It's 844-433-5728. We are also on Instagram at The Title Geeks FL_TN, and that's at THETITLE G as in George EEKS FL for Florida _TN for Tennessee.
Okay.
Well, this was a lot of information that I was not aware of. So,
Yes.
I'm glad that you came on today, and
Thank you for having me.
with your knowledge, I know time is at an essence for you.
Yes.
You got some closings. And
Yes.
about some liens that's on this property.
Oh my goodness. This is my life. I eat, sleep, and breathe liens. So,
Well, I do appreciate both of your times, Maurice.
Absolutely.
thank
It's
you.
always a pleasure. And until next time, you guys, liens.
One quick thing before we go. So, Carline, if you were, can you give any advice to people out there that's watching about liens and what their first step should be?
Well, reach out to the creditor. Sometimes they make mistakes.
Okay.
That would be my first advice. Don't ignore it. If you receive any type of notification, any type of written communication, whether it's by email or in the mail, don't ignore it. Don't toss it to the side. Reach out to them, because it could be something. It could be a mistake. And maybe they thought that they were trying to place a lien on a neighbor's property, and they ended up just with a typo placing that lien on your property, and thinking that this is not my property. You would just ignore it, and then later on when you go to do a transaction, this comes up. So I would not ignore it. That's the first piece of advice that I would say. And should it become it is your lien, try to negotiate, work on it. Don't ignore it. If you have to enter into a payment arrangement with the creditor, do something, because not only will it affect your property, but then if it's on your credit, it'll also affect your credit as well. So, these are very important things to do.
Okay. And then on the flip side, for those investors out there is watching, what would you advise them as far as liens, and what would be the first step for them if they're looking to get into liens by acquiring properties that have liens on them?
Partner with a title company, just like Title Geeks.
Yep.
Who
Absolutely.
to run your title searches. It's worth the minimal investments to see what exactly is on the property. It's worth it.
Yep. Because you're talking what, $150 compared to $150,000 or whatever.
Correct.
Okay.
Although a lot of these liens can be mitigated, but still it's worth the investment. And because obviously if you're an investor, you're looking to make a return on your investment. And so you need to measure out to see if it's actually worth it. And $150 investment is, small compared to what can potentially happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So last thing before we wrap up, Carline, since you are our newest co-host today, what book would you leave the audience? A book that you recommend?
Wow.
On the spot.
On the spot. It's actually a book. Oh my gosh, you just put me on the spot. I started reading it, but I got so overwhelmed with work, and I put it to the side, and I'll get it for you right now because the title escapes me. Give me just 1 second.
Take your time.
It's the
Maurice, while she's looking up her book, what book do you recommend?
I am currently reading. Hold on, let me see this book. I am building. What's it called? I'm reading. I just started reading a couple days ago.
100.
Let me give me 2 seconds. I'll tell you exactly what book I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. That's what I'm reading right now.
Okay.
So it's talking about how building a brand and pushing out a lot of the noise that marketing does, and trying to be different, and basically trying to get exactly what the clients are telling you what they want, not you telling them what you're going to do for them. So
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so my book is the book that I'm reading is Dream 100, the Dream 100 book. Have you all heard of it?
Nope.
No? Okay. This book is by Dana Derricks. And this book basically talks about the Dream 100 clients that any entrepreneur would want to have. And you basically reach that goal of having your Dream 100 clients and you turn them into loyal clients and to maximize your earnings, obviously. So it's a wonderful book. I'm just on third chapter. But it's very interesting.
Okay. My book is The One Thing, Gary Keller. Phenomenal book as well. One thing that I kind of gravitated towards this book, because, as children, they tell us about, multitasking. Mm-hmm. So this book right here really breaks down that multitasking really doesn't exist. It's a distraction. So that's helpful for me in my business, my career, whatever. So that's a good book, The One Thing.
One Thing.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. It was a pleasure, you guys. I don't know how the weather is in Jacksonville, but we have some storms going on right now. So
yeah, we got some thunder going on over here.
Yeah. So I'm not
over here.
So Carline, are you in Orlando today for closing?
No, I'm actually in Fort Lauderdale. I should be in Orlando in the next week or two. We have some closings up there. So yeah.
All right. You guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to our next one. And until then, stay blessed.
You too. Thank you so much.